Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to you lovely folks joining me here nice and early over at Marvel Snap Zone. Welcome on in for another, myth-busting episode over here on the YouTube channel. Today, looking at all things Collector's Cash, Collector's Reserve, Season's Cash, and then these lovely collector's tokens we expect to be on the way very shortly. I apologise for being a bit cozy. I'm full of the ick and have some kind of cold, so I apologise if there is any quality lost over the course of the episode. We wanted to break these things down today. Again, we get a lot of questions about stuff like this over at Marvel Snap Zone, so we're doing our best to make sure there is both articles and videos available for folks who are looking for clean, concise information that contains everything we know about these elements of Marvel Snap. So if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We love doing this for you, and we want to know that we're doing a good job, so hit the bell for me, turn on notifications, and make sure you are following us so you don't miss anything that we put out over the course of the week. Content is currently coming out 7 days a week, and we appreciate all the love that we have. So, starting things off with the very basics here, we're going to start things off by looking at these caches in general. A lot of people not necessarily familiar with the details of these. Some of the elements you see on screen have been updated. We have some information about that coming very, very shortly, so don't go anywhere. And hopefully, if you're looking for any element of this video in particular, it will be timestamped for you down below. So we're going to be going over the different cache types in the game, where you find them, what they can contain, their drop rates, and the bad luck protection pity timer that was introduced back in July as a change to the existing system. So, starting things off here with collector's caches. They are the lower first come, first serve version of caches. You will find them every 8 to 12 levels of the collection level road from your collection level 500 to collection level 1000. They replace the guaranteed mystery cards for Pool 3, so that you'll find them once you head into level 500 upwards, and the amount of currency you get is significantly more than before. It has a chance to contain the following. So, there is a 50% chance it contains a new card from pool number 3, a 15% chance that you score yourself 150 credits, a 5% chance of 300 credits, 15% chance of 15 boosters for a randomly assigned card, 5% chance of a 30% boosters for a randomly assigned card, and a 10% chance of 150 gold altogether. For obtaining new cards from these caches, there is what we call a bad luck pity timer, so you can only go through so many before it will forcefully give you a card in place. In this cache, that limit is 6 in a row with no cards, so you should never ever be able to go beyond that, fingers crossed. Make sure your collection is ticking along nicely as you go. Next up is the Collector's Reserve. Collector's Reserves are opened every 12 levels of the collection level track, starting from collection level 1006, as it's what replaces the Collector's Cache. In terms of the reserve, the amount of currency you get is once again increased, and the pace of card rewards for players above 1500 is about double compared to the previous system before the changes were made to this. So if you want stats, what you can get is really simple. 25% chance of a new card, so sadly less chance of new cards in the reserves than in the caches, but 25%, so 1 in 4 on average in that case. 10% of the time they're going to contain a mystery variant for you, so you'll get a random variant of a card that you may or may not collect in various styles, which is very, very cool, but worth keeping your eyes on one way or the other. 7.5% of the time, they are going to contain a title. Titles, if you're not familiar, are little grassroots under your names when you go into games. They add various flavour and character to your profile, much like different profile pictures and stuff do. They just let you make your account a little bit more personal, and they're usually very Marvel themed, or perhaps working from home themed to have a joke with your opponent as you go. Same percentage, 7.5% of the time, you are going to receive a mystery avatar in these, and then we get to look at the credits and currency. So 15% of the time, you'll gain 200 credits, 5% of the time, 400 credits, and then 15% of the time, you'll get 20 boosters, 5% of the time, 40 boosters, and a whole 10% of the time, you will score yourself 200 gold in the collector's reserves as well. For obtaining new cards, there is still a pity timer on this one, so keep it in mind, but it's a little bit higher. 9. 9 is the pity timer for collector's reserves to make sure you get a card every time you go. If you hit 9, it's pretty unfortunate, truth be told. They usually are significantly faster than that, but that is where that pity timer exists. The reserves now, I guess it's worth mentioning, unlike previously, if you've been playing for a little while, do in fact have a 7.5% chance of that title since patch 8.71, which what that did essentially was reduce the rates on variants and avatars. So they've been moved down to 10% and 7.5% respectively in variants and avatars when they were significantly higher to incorporate that 7.5% chance of a title. So if that's what you're used to, that is the change that has been made, and that has been confirmed by Stephen Jarrett from the development team over in the official Marvel Snap Discord. So well worth keeping that one in mind. The other change coming to these caches in very soon, we're told before the end of the year, is going to be these collector's tokens we're going to go into a little bit more detail about in just a hot second. Drop rate on boosters is expected to decrease in order to facilitate these, knocking them down from 20% down to likely about the same as where everything else is at this moment in time, according to the current development roadmap. So you will find collector's tokens in both caches and reserves before the end of the year, from what we understand. So, last but not least, the Seasons cache, one that people aren't necessarily quite as excited about, and I'm not entirely sure I understand why, but from level 51 onwards of a Season Pass, you will have your prizes updated to a Season cache, which can contain credits, boosters, and sometimes even gold and variants. Previously, players were only obtaining 50 credits a level, and this is a much better system than that, in our opinion. So you've got a 5% chance of a mystery variant being gifted to you from these, a 25% chance of that 50 credits remaining, 10% chance of 100 credits, and 5% chance of 200 credits, and then of course boosters and gold available as well. 25% chance of 10 boosters, 10% chance of 15 boosters, and 5% chance of 20 boosters. 10% chance of 50 gold, 5% chance of 100 gold, so a good variety of prizes available in those season caches towards the end of your season pass. The developers definitely do not intend on people to save resources to get something that has not been released yet. We're going to go into that in just a little bit, but once you've collected all the cards, there's no point saving your loot and not opening them. You have your stuff auto-assigned, and loot tables are determined ahead of time, so you should definitely be looking to do that. So collector's tokens, they are the big topic of conversation that are going into these caches before the end of the year. They are an upcoming feature in development according to the roadmap. They allow players to target cards they want for their collection rather than having to wait for them at random. So if you're looking for something like Patriot or Wong, Serra, Destroyer, to build the meta deck you're looking to play, well, this system is looking to alleviate that and try and save some of that long wait. All the information about these is obviously very subject to change. The developers are releasing more information as we go, and we'll be updating our articles that you can find in the description box down below as we get closer and closer to them coming out. They are a free currency. They'll be earned on the collection level track and maybe in some other ways, we don't know. And they'll be used to unlock cards offered to you in the token shop. The token shop will be a feature which features a single card you do not own that refreshes every 8 hours. Players can also freeze the token shop if they wish to lock in their targeted card to obtain it later while they pick up more collector's tokens. The system isn't designed to be the primary way of obtaining new cards. It's going to be very similar to the variant daily offer that players can keep an eye out for periodically to look for their most wanted cards. It will not let you get things super consistently and is not meant to replace the mystery rewards in these caches. How do you get them? Currently, we don't know if there are going to be any other ways of obtaining tokens and how frequently they're going to drop exactly, but the roadmap does tell us they will appear in these caches and reserves that can be opened after collection level 486. And again, that chance is looking to reduce the chance of variants and boosters dropping to accommodate that accordingly. What if you have all the cards already? A common question we get about this. Many players that started in beta have completed their collections already, and developers have stated that in the October 2022 update video that after Pool 3, they will be extending cards out into a Pool 4 and a Pool 5 series. They're going to be looking to introduce a new weekly card acquisition system to go alongside this, but none of the details about this are known just yet. We do know new series of cards after Pool 3 is coming, so there will always be something to spend tokens on if that's what you're looking for overall. More importantly though, there is a little bit more confirmation about people that were considering saving their caches and not opening them to score as many tokens as possible when this system came into place. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. The developers do not intend on you saving resources to get things that aren't released yet. They've confirmed that loot tables are determined as they are earned, so feel free to open your prizes immediately. Feel free to save up your credit and your gold, but go ahead and claim all your rewards. You will not change their contents based on holding on to them for a longer period of time. Ladies and gents, that's everything we currently know about the cash drop rates, their content, and all we know about the upcoming collector token project. If you've got any questions or concerns, or you think that we've missed anything, by all means, at us on Twitter at Marvel Snap Zone. Come and talk to us in our community Discord server with over 3,000 other members down below. Let us know what we should update if we think we have missed something. Otherwise, I have been Howling Minds, you have been amazing, and hopefully I'll see you again very soon for more things Marvel Snap. Have a good one.